What if the thing holding you back was the same thing that used to protect you? What if the familiar pain you've been tolerating was just the ego disguising fear as wisdom? And what if all your doubt, delay, and detours were actually signs that it's time to surrender, not give up, but give in to the version of yourself you've been praying for? Well, that was me. And it was actually a moment of realization that I could no longer afford the price of my own limitation. This is our sacred space for soul led, success minded women and mothers who are ready to create household harmony, cultivate conscious leadership, and build a legacy rooted in wellness, wealth, and wisdom. Heal unhealthy generational patterns and step into your full power, personally and professionally. Whether you're here to nurture your family, your freedom, your finances, or all of the above, you're in the right place. You're going to start by taking the Nurtured Life Pathway Quiz to discover which route in the ecosystem is best aligned with your season of life right now. Then explore the curated collections on this page to find your lane, whether that's household harmony, self directed success, workplace wealthy, or kaleidoscope dreams. Everything is connected and every path is designed to meet you exactly where you are. I'm Atila N. Nicholas, your conscious parenting expert, motherhood coach, here to guide you through the nurturology ecosystem. I'm so honored to walk this journey with you. Let's build the life your future self and future generations will thank you for. Welcome to the official home of nurturology. What if the thing holding you back was the same thing that used to protect you? What if the familiar pain you've been tolerating was just the ego disguising fear as wisdom? And what if all your doubt, delay, and detours were actually signs that it's time to surrender, not give up, but give in to the version of yourself you've been praying for? Well, that was me. And it was actually a moment of realization that I could no longer afford the price of my own limitation. This is our sacred space for soul led, success minded women and mothers who are ready to create household harmony, cultivate conscious leadership, and build a legacy rooted in wellness, wealth, and wisdom. Heal unhealthy generational patterns and step into your full power, personally and professionally. Whether you're here to nurture your family, your freedom, your finances, or all of the above, you're in the right place. You're going to start by taking the Nurtured Life Pathway Quiz to discover which route in the ecosystem is best aligned with your season of life right now. Then explore the curated collections on this page to find your lane, whether that's household harmony, self directed success, workplace wealthy, or kaleidoscope dreams. Everything is connected and every path is designed to meet you exactly where you are. I'm Atila N. Nicholas, your conscious parenting expert, motherhood coach, here to guide you through the nurturology ecosystem. I'm so honored to walk this journey with you. Let's build the life your future self and future generations will thank you for. Welcome to the official home of nurturology. I know, like many of you who happen to be moms or who get really preoccupied with your roles and responsibilities in the world, that you sometimes get lost too. And so that's what I just want to talk about today, those things that we lose ourselves to, and share some of the internal work that I've been doing to reclaim aspects of myself. And no matter where you are on this journey, just know that I am on the path alongside you. One of the things that came up in my conversation with this working mom is like how, she gets lost when it comes to herself. I asked her, tell me a little bit about you and your family. And she immediately went to telling me about her children and mothering. And it just really highlighted how we place ourselves further down on the list, even though we are critical to everything that we're taking care of, and that we need to take care of ourselves first. She's looking for support, like helping her children be in their best frequencies and wanting to deal with her own patterns so that she can handle things better within her household. So I'm really looking forward to welcoming her into our community and supporting her on her journey of moving from the mayhem of motherhood to really enjoying the journey and giving herself and her children everything that they deserve. I experienced a bit of a breakup over the weekend. I'll tell you guys about that in a minute. But I'm looking forward to the future. I'm really excited about where things are going. If you don't know, I just celebrated a birthday and I'm closer to the big 4-0 than I am to my 20s. So, it might not look like it, but your girl is getting up there and also like getting a bit more comfortable with myself and with my journey, all the ups and downs that have come with it, and all of the great things that are unfolding. I'm going to share with y'all from my journal once again what I've been unpacking. I had shared with you guys that I finally started working on my heart wall. And I feel like doing the heavy lifting, removing blockages and emotions that were holding my heart wall together, has made room for other things that want to come in its place and fulfill my life. So the breakup that I experienced goes a little something like this. Dear ego, in the long run, a good relationship is a win-win where the more I give, the more I get, and the other way around. The current state of our relationship is no longer working to my benefit because the more I give you, the less I get. Letting you run the show based in fear and the illusion of loving support has created a toxic environment, energetically and otherwise. Now, it doesn't matter who's to blame for this. At the end of the day, one of us gets pain while the other gets the advantage, and this hurts us both. Ultimately, we've been sacrificing the journey to the destination and then the destination to its own failures. Now, it's okay that we've done this dance, but it cannot go on like this forever. I love you and I appreciate you for all the lessons and protection you provided me. I know you did the absolute best you could, and I'm forever grateful to have you waiting in the wings if I need you. But I need to embody a version of myself that's less dependent on you and feels worthy enough to learn the truth of my own soul. I need to know what we're truly capable of. I no longer want to hide my spiritual truth or be shamed by the abundance, wellness, joy, supplication, and provision available to me. I no longer want to sell myself short or give away my gifts for nothing. I want to feel proud of my power and put it on display for my own enjoyment. I want to be proof for others that peace, freedom, and love are the truth of who we are. I want to practice my God power, speak from my God mind, and live as my God self. I want to be free of fear. I want to reclaim control of my vessel and be led to victory in truth. I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. Whew, that was a purging and a releasing that I didn't even know I needed. The thing that was holding me back, that used to protect me, was that heart wall. It was my shield from a harsh world. It was my protection from people that didn't really care about me and only sought to take advantage of me. And that heart wall was built and constructed by my ego to keep us safe and to keep our eyes open for danger and for discomfort and for all of the things that, the ego seeks to protect me from. But at some point, it started to hold me back. At some point, when all of those dangers had been avoided and all of those people and situations and places that were no longer serving me were removed from my life, I held on to the fear that something would happen or that someone was out to get me or that I couldn't trust and fully be myself. And so it started holding me back because when I wanted to get on camera and just talk about what's going on, I was scared of who was going to judge me. I wanted to pick up the phone and call people and talk to them about the amazing things that I have going on, but I would be concerned that I was intruding on their time and I didn't want to be a bother. Um, it was me kind of keeping my head on a swivel for all the worst things that could happen and trying to be in control of every little thing to the point of analysis paralysis, trying to perfect every little thing behind the scenes before I could, take the leap and just trust that everything will be okay. And it just held me back for so long. The familiar pain that I was used to tolerating was actually my ego disguising that fear as, being wise and discerning and all of that stuff. And there's a place for that. most definitely. But it has to be from a healthy frequency. Otherwise, it becomes a comfortable jail. It becomes a comfort zone where the walls are closing in and it's trying to kill you, but you're so used to it that you won't escape. When I say escape, I really mean like just surrendering it, surrendering the fear, surrendering the paranoia and the perfectionism so that higher self, God, source can actually show up and show out. And that's something that I've been really unpacking, especially after my birthday and like leading up to it, just really looking at my life and saying, where can I continue to release some of that emotional baggage? Where can I clear up some of those mental challenges and blocks so that I can be freer and I can enjoy myself, enjoy my life a lot more. And so, yeah, breaking up with my ego was definitely not easy, but I had to really choose myself. I had to choose to be led by my soul and not by scarcity thinking. I had to choose love over fear. I had to choose the truth of who I am versus the illusion. And I couldn't push it any further down the road. I had to choose that right now and choose it for myself every day as I continue to heal from the years of self protection that I felt like I needed to engage in. And so that journal entry and like the work I was doing around it actually brought me full circle to another journal entry that I had written back in 2022. For some reason, like spiritually, when I finished with that exercise, I felt like I was being led to choose one of the journals that I have and just open up to a random page and see what message was there for me. And like I said, the breadcrumbs my higher self leaves for me, they hit every single time. It'll always lead me back home to myself. So when I opened that other journal, it was called, like, the title of it was Watch What You Wish For. And I was like, okay. And this was written back in December of 2022. And, I'm like reading through it and I'm trying to understand how it connects to where I am right now. Just for a little bit of context around the work I'm doing right now, like I'm getting into a space of being able to manifest the life that I want through my mission, through my passion, through this vision that God has placed on me and in my life. And for some reason, I just couldn't really get into the feeling, right? So if you're familiar at all with concepts like The Secret or law of attraction, manifestation, that type of thing, the consensus is that yes, changing our thoughts are important, but we actually have to feel like the thing that we're calling into our lives is already done. And this is biblical principle, this is spiritual law, that we get to be right about who we are, what we want, what we say is ours. We have to claim it, declare it, decree. But I just couldn't get into the feeling of it. As I'm reading this journal entry, it's literally talking about feelings and like giving me specific feelings to reach for, things to add fuel to these rockets of desire that I'm sending. And it really just let me know like the upward spiral that I'm on right now is allowing me to come back around to the same lessons, but from a different perspective, from a different vantage point, newer insights that I've picked up along the way so that I can integrate it at a deeper level. And so I want to kind of share what that journal entry revealed to me, and then I'll bring it back and tie it up with the truth and the triumph of where I am right now. So we're gonna go back. I've kind of curated that one a little bit more rather than just like the raw writing of it. So I was 7 months postpartum with my son. I was recovering from a recent breakup and I was packing at that time to move again. And I had just started this new entrepreneurial journey with Nurtured Life Resource. I had entered this new fast paced, like highly charged timeline with little more than my babies, my business, and some boxes to my name. All right. I had no bank accounts to speak of, no big support system to match these big dreams that I was starting to have for myself. I really could not see my way out of that messy middle. I was really just trying to get out of a feeling of numbness because I was processing this fear of death and it had me in a state of like paranoia, just like about every little thing. It was like being in darkness and your eyes just trying to adjust to like, I don't know what the heck I'm about to deal with from here, right? So that journal entry I wrote down, feeling is the way forward, right? And I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, yo, this is crazy because I'm literally back at this stage of manifesting, starting a new chapter in my life, and needing to get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to quote Neville Goddard's teachings. I was like shocked that I had opened up specifically to a page in my journal that was talking about the exact thing that I'm currently working on. So I'll go into the raw writing now. It says, cleanse the subconscious mind of outdated thoughts. Create space for dreams that inspire reality. Feeling is the way forward. Feeling for fulfillment, feeling for fun, feeling for freedom, feeling for functionality, feeling for flow, and feeling for fruitful. Remember, at first I said that clearing my heart wall and clearing some of those blockages and emotional bags made room for this new frequency of manifestation. And this literally says cleansing the subconscious mind of those outdated thoughts by clearing the heart wall and creating space for dreams that inspire reality. Crazy. So these new feeling words, aka old feeling words that my higher self had dropped way back then, is so helpful for me right now because I actually have the capacity now to feel those things, to feel fulfillment and fun and freedom and flow. It was hard to get into it before because I didn't really know what I was supposed to be feeling for. And again, I'm at this different stage and it's like right back to square one. These are exactly the feelings that I need to be reaching for. When it comes to manifestation, what I'm learning is that the heart and the mind have to be aligned. Now, if you can imagine, I have all of these amazing dreams and ideas about what I want to do for myself, but I have a wall around my heart. I have an ice box where my heart used to be, right? So it's like, how am I going to be able to bring my heart and mind into oneness when part of me is like caged up out of fear and the other part is like running wild, dreaming all of these big dreams? Well, my journal entry from 2022 had the answers for me. I would say write your own dear ego letter. Like, what truth are you ready to reclaim for yourself? You know, when you think about it, how has your ego protected you? And what is your soul now asking you to trust instead? Right? So you might want to examine what you've been wishing for through your feelings, through that feeling state, and clear it up, clean it up. Because feeling is the way forward. Feeling is how we manifest things. So if you're not feeling well, if you're not feeling good emotionally, if your thoughts don't make you feel alive and excited about where you're going, that definitely needs to be cleared up because you're manifesting that in your experience. Like I said, it wasn't easy to break up with my ego. It really wasn't easy to confront those patterns of self sabotage that were disguised as self protection, right? That was me sabotaging myself every time I protected myself from, putting myself out there. I've shared some examples, but how are you doing that? Where is that showing up for you? Where are you negotiating with your fear instead of standing in your truth? I believe that we're all worthy of a life that doesn't require us to break down and be burnt out and, live a life of imbalance. We deserve balance. We deserve breakthroughs. We deserve to have the space to follow the trail of those breadcrumbs that we leave for ourselves. You've told yourself what you need to do. Have you been listening? It's up to you. It's not going to be, perfect all the time. I get it. But how can it be better than it was yesterday? Not a linear process. We go on the spiral like I was talking about, but hopefully it's an upward spiral versus a downward spiral. I know what that downward spiral feels like. To me, it felt like death. It felt like I'm dying. Something's happening. I don't know what's next, right? And getting out of that spiral required me to reach for different feelings, reach for joy. I want you guys to feel how I'm feeling, no pun intended. But I want you guys to feel proud of who you're becoming the way that I do finally. right? It's not just about what we produce or who we're responsible for, what roles we play. It's about who we really are. Like going back to this journal was really a way to sharpen the sword for me. Although what was written at that time, was in a moment of like shit falling apart. When I read it now, it was actually a moment of becoming, right? Stepping into a version of myself that over the past couple of years, I can now look back and say that moment led me here. And I'm just so happy that I then and now have released the revolving door of that comfort zone that just kept me going around in circles, and that I've broken up with my ego so that I can break free mentally and create the next chapter. So I'm choosing to nourish myself, and I'm just enjoying going with the flow and making new choices. Going with the flow, making new choices. So if you've ever been in your own messy middle, kind of like the beautiful mother that I was connecting with, I hope that you find something here that helps you to feel your way forward. If there was anything that resonated with you, definitely drop a comment, share what was helpful to you. You guys deserve peace. You deserve to live in your full power and to live a purpose filled life, a purpose driven life. So I love you. I'm praying for y'all. I'm here for you if you need any support. So I created this program called Mayhem to Mama Stay in a Day, because we're moms, and who has time for weeks and weeks and weeks of coaching before we can feel that sense of relief, right? Before we can feel better about our lives. And yeah, if you're interested in how you can have a radical reset as a mom, definitely reach out. Let's do the work together. You know, I'm here to hold your hand and to support you and to push you gently along your journey so that you can really reclaim your joy and feel better. So, all right, that's all I got. I'll talk to you guys later.